Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Happy Friday to you and your family. Obviously taking a look here at Bitcoin, the big dog, seeing what's going on with best practice, big picture. We're seeing a new ascending trend, potentially breaking to the upside, and we'll kind of talk about that and much more and see if this run here might have further potential. So if you are new to the channel, not a financial advisor, really just love to teach people to trade. Truly hope you can learn something here today. If you do, comment below. If not, that's okay too. Perhaps another video will speak to you. I do cover a lot of altcoins as well. But if you want to become part of my community, once again, cryptocash.tech is a site down below. You can benefit from a lot of the trade signals that I send out myself. I share every trade that I take with my community, fully automated through Cornix, 54% from Ethereum, Litecoin 58%, 86% from Near. Those are some recent shorts. We're going to talk about the reason why shorts might be at risk right now here, and obviously what the potential might look like with the current situation. But if you do want to be part of my monthly prize pool, it does fluctuate somewhere between 5 to 15,000 right now. At this point, the last one was 10K, and what that is basically just use the link in the description below to qualify, and when the time is available, it's usually a 2-week slot, you can benefit from profit and loss ratio and trading volume. So really awesome, easy to qualify. You will need a VPN if you are in the States though, and I got you covered here with Express, 3 months free with a 12-month plan. Thanks again, Express and Bitget. So here's the thing with Bitcoin. We are looking at, well, an ascending trend here. Let's go ahead and just jump right into the 4-hour, kind of get you perspective here. You can see that we're still making higher lows and higher highs, okay? Now in the most recent time frame, of course, we'll look at this on the 1 hour. You can see higher highs and higher lows getting formed. And this interesting area here, right there at 21,300, recently getting broken. There is technically a resistance at about 21,500, right in this range here. You can kind of see we haven't broken through that yet, but we're getting close, okay? Though, so the more often we test that level, the more likely it is to break. All right, we just got to kind of be mindful of that. So let's go ahead and work our way down from the 1 day and kind of go from there. Let's preface actually first as well too with traditional markets. NASDAQ is up 1.5%. That's a pretty big sign. Bitcoin following suit almost exactly with a 1.5% increase. So that being said, dollar index kind of drawing even, and traditional markets being up, it's all inevitable for Bitcoin to bounce back, right? So that's very good news. Got a lot of volume at this range here between 20,500, which is a new support level, as well as 21,500. So it's like we got this nice $1,000 range here that's the price is kind of working within. Today we might see that break to the upside. Now I say might because we don't know yet. Let's go ahead and see if we have any overextension or just generally where we're at here. Because this might have been a good enough reset time frame. I mean, a good 3 or 4 days in this range does warrant a next leg up. That can absolutely happen. So taking a look here, of course, at the daily RSI, still overextended. There's nothing, no question there. We're still there. But in previous time frames, you've seen Bitcoin do the same thing as well, where it stays over 70 for some time. So it's a very realistic possibility the price will stay high, the RSI will stay high and the price will continue higher. We have to be okay with that, or just come to terms with the fact that that could very well happen. Furthermore, the MACD, even though it's dissipating, is still looking good. We're still on the right side of tracks. We haven't diverged yet. Okay, so all in all, the daily is actually looking much better than it was yesterday. And if we see here also too, you can see the 200-day set moving average. It's kind of hard to see this purple, but it's right there, right once again at about 19,600. So it's kind of just averaging itself out. It's going to inevitably continue sideways, and just know that the 50 coming up like this is a strong sign that is going to give us that type of convergence, so to speak, basically a golden cross on the daily, and that's ultimately what we're looking for. So that appears to be an inevitability at this point based on the simple fact that we are trending positively in the overall sense of things. So all in all, fairly decent daily here as well. And again, if you watch my videos, you'll see that you're constantly having to change the narrative based on how the current market is trending, okay? Because this time yesterday, we were making lower highs and lower lows. Now it looks like we're definitely making higher highs and higher lows, and we broke through that little resistance plane there at about 21,000. So ultimately, looking pretty favorable here, but we just got to be mindful that until we break through this resistance level, we got to assume it's going to continue to hold, right? So 21,300 to 21,500 is a strong resistance zone, okay? For now, we have to anticipate that's going to hold until it doesn't. So let's look at the 4-hour, see if this is kind of a healthy continuation. First of all, we bounced off 50 on the RSI. We've got a potential MACD convergence here, as well as the fact that we're coming up on a resistance level. So when you have a convergence leading into a resistance level, the probability of it going through that level is higher. Okay, so there's a decent chance we might actually see the price action continue further up from here based on that potential indicator. Okay. Now, again, no guarantees. You never want to take a trade on one thing alone, but if we combine the daily with the 4 hour, we're all in all looking pretty decent for an uptrend here and a decent chance that we will see the price action continue upwards. So let's go ahead and just take a quick perspective here. Like, go ahead and pull this out and kind of see where we're at. So first of all, higher lows getting established. Ascending trend running concurrent with the 50-day SMA, also holding strong. Okay, so as long as we stay above the 50-day SMA, there's a great chance we're going to be able to see the price continue upwards. That's awesome news. We also have these most recent higher highs being established, and we haven't quite broken the previous highs, but we're getting close. It looks like we're pushing through almost at this point right now. So if we get a closure above 21,300, I think that would be a pretty firm indication that we're going to be tentatively bullish on the uptrend moving forward. Okay, now again, that uptrend may not last too long. You got to recognize that this is not just, we're instantly bullish, everything is long from here on moving forward. You got to, understand that we are fairly overextended here, and let's go ahead and take a look at that. You can kind of see on the hourly that previously we came down to a 9. Price comes up here, establishes a lower high. Okay, so see that lower high, and then of course, as it continues over, we hit a 9, kind of retraces, bounces off this ascending trend line, running concurrent with the 50-day SMA on the 4 hour, and now we're up to an 8. So even though we are breaking through a potential resistance area or retesting that resistance area, we're overextended going into it. So the likelihood of a strong push to the upside is pretty low, based on the simple fact that it is one of those situations where the price is continuing higher, and we can kind of see that it's all in all doing pretty well. Okay, so what that basically just means for us, the easy translation is that when you are overextended going into a resistance area, the probability of breaking through is lower. We need to have strong amount of volume leading into it. And while I'm assuming we have an increase in volume, which we have, we need to have a significant increase in volume for it to push through that area. And what will probably happen is there has to be enough volume to push through this range to squeeze out some shorts and for the price to continue higher and then to hedge with the longs. So when that occurs, you will see a strong spike and increase. We may or may not see that here soon, but the probability is lower on the hourly based on the fact that we are 8 hours into this push, and you can only push so far for so long on the shorter time frames. That being said, let's take a quick look at the cloud and kind of see where we're at. We do have some positive signs here. All green lights here effectively we are above the cloud soundly. We have conversion line above the baseline, and we also have the lagging span free and clear. So at this point, if you have a long position open, you should basically keep it open and continue to ride it out, so to speak. Okay, so mostly positive in all time frames. I'm just a little concerned with this overextension in the most recent 8 hours. It could lead to a pullback, but what would, in a better case scenario, if it were to pull back, it just comes down, bounces right off 21,300, and it moves on its merry way after we get a nice little reset. So ideally, at the end of today's trading day, we can remain above 21,300 and continue higher to establish some kind of volume right at this level and to build on it. Okay, that's what I'm looking for here. So all in all, I would say at this point, Bitcoin's looking fairly bullish for the most part. I just keep in mind this doesn't mean it's bullish to the moon from here. We still got a lot of room to cover, or a lot of ground to cover, because we got some resistance zones in the area. For right now, though, very positive short-term potential increase moving forward. All right, so pay attention to how the one-day candlestick closes today. Are we above or below 21,300? That's something I'm going to try to evaluate and take a look at. And if we do close above 21.3, there's a decent chance we might consider some signals, or perhaps reevaluating for some long positions. But I'm still not fully convinced that we're out of the woods yet, because again, today's trading day is only halfway over. All right, so be patient if you can, of course. And just know we're overextended on the short-term time frame, but the long time frame here, you can see we got a nice healthy reset here. We've got enough consolidation to warrant the next leg up. All right, that's a possibility. So we'll see what happens. Looking forward to some positive news here, and hopefully tomorrow we have just as good review, and obviously the price continues higher. We'll see, of course, here very soon. Thanks again for watching me and watching, obviously, the information here. And if you want to become a better trader, cryptocash.tech is a site, link down below. I look forward to working with you. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks again for your time. We'll see you.